Hey, welcome back to another episode of Cattle Drive Live, hosted by myself, Brett Carter, with my good buddy Corey Thompson and crew with him tonight.
Yeah,
How are you?
we have started the pilgrimage south. Got Jackson at the wheel. Got a crew in the back seat. Headed
Awesome.
down to
Headed
the
to G
Griswold
Bar.
Classic sale. Yeah,
Awesome. Yep, you guys are headed south. So yeah, hopefully everything works good for tonight. I know that you guys are trying to beat a little bit of weather, and I tell you what, we've been talking about this episode here, Corey, for just a minute. There's something special to you. It's something special to our guest tonight as well. So tell them just a little bit about what's to expect here in a few minutes.
yeah, we're gonna have Bob and Peggy Agle, and we're gonna have Linde Sutherly on, and they're gonna tell us about a cause that they're working for. Boy, it's just been a story that I heard about last spring, I guess, and it's something that I think's pretty cool, and sure thought it'd be neat if the world heard more about it.
Yeah, without a doubt. Hey, and it couldn't happen on a bigger weekend for the livestock business. Everybody's traveling somewhere this week. It seems like Midwest is fired up. The South's fired up with livestock shows. But this weekend in my country, it's the G Bar is all things G Bar this week in the South, and I think that's where you're headed. So, but hey, tell me,
Absolutely. And there it is.
are you there? A little technical difficulties traveling
Yep, I
today.
got you.
Okay, good deal. Good deal. Hey, cell season's
Yep.
fired up as of late. Tell me if your cell service will hang with us for a minute. Tell us just a little bit about what's happened
Yeah, I
recently on
think
the
we're good.
selling.
Yeah, it was a big week. This last week, the annual Hartman Customer Appreciation Sale kicked off. Last weekend, 31 purebred heifer calves averaged $32,629. Four percentage heifers averaged $63,500. High sellers, lot 35, 220,000. Lot 1 at 175,000. Oh, I mean,
Wow,
Mike and his Dalton and that crew, they get it done um, every year, no doubt about it.
yeah.
Um,
There's no
the crew
no.
at JS Semital's Jay Steenhook down there in Iowa, they sell 38 open heifer calves, averaged 11,482. 12 bred heifers averaged 4,354. High seller was lot 1 brings 62,000, 25 at 33,000, and lot 29 she brings 29,000.
Wow, incredible. Yeah, you can't beat it,
Another
man.
another
It's yep.
another sale that was on CCI Live. Both them sales were on CCI and managed by Innovation. Then Nelson Family Farms over there in Minnesota, they sell 25 open heifers, average 47.74, and sell 40 bred heifers at 41.36. Um, Another Innovation sale. Um, and on CCI Live as well. And then
Right.
the last sale I got tonight, Brett, is our good buddy Tyler Humphrey with the you did a drive marketing for Tyler. He's got his inaugural sale, the Angus Elite in Las Vegas, Nevada last week. That sale grossed $554,675. High selling live lot was Lot A, Beauty 113Z, 60,000 for half interest to her. He sells a high selling lot of embryos, sells three mahogany prime proven queens for 3700. The high selling IVF cycle was out of MHG Barcelona 107J. That brings 17,500 for one IVF cycle on that cow. The high selling pregnancy, get a load of this. A 24 carat out of the Sandy 2118 cow, $20,000 pregnancy. And then the high
Wow.
selling semen lot, 6 Mile John Wick, that Red Angus bull's been awful popular, 26.90 a straw.
Hey, I guess that it's pretty tough to get your hands on the John Wick semen. And in Humpy told me in typical Humpy fashion, he went ahead and put it in the cell catalog and then send the guys the proof. Then they okayed it. So that
Really?
is that's fairly optimistic. I love his style. So I do love
That's no
his
doubt.
style. So, yeah, you bet. So
Hey,
yeah.
another deal on everybody's calendar is those entry deadlines for Denver are drawing near.
Hmm. Yeah, that they are, and I think next week will be a good week
Yep.
here at the Cattle Drive because we're going to have the crew from the National Western to be a part of Monday night
On
to let us
Monday
know,
night. Yep.
yeah, to let us know kind of what all's going on at the National Western, what's to look forward to. The
And
absolute deadline, Corey, is December the 19th to get
is the late
your livestock entered.
Yep.
So
And it did
anyway,
sound like we're going to try to stick to that date and not let you give you much wiggle room on that this time. So I'd be sharpening your pencils and get your entries filled out for that deal.
yeah, you bet.
And I
Cattle,
did.
you can do both. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with hitting them both. Two big shows, big part of this industry, and yeah, so support
They,
them both.
I did talk to them today. They broke ground today on the new facility that's going to host at some point here. It'll host the hill cattle in the yards. That new barn that they're going to build down there.
Right.
They broke ground today and started that project. So there'll be more about that on Monday night show. We'll have Sarah Vicklin and some more of the crew from the headquarters there in Denver, and yeah, looking forward to that.
Yep, absolutely. Nope, it'll be a good show without a doubt over the next few weeks. We'll try to highlight some of these major shows coming down the pike at us here. It's such a rewarding time of the year for all of us. I mean, we all seem to work our butts off from state fair season through these major shows. It's kind of everybody's. I don't know that I look forward to it anymore like I did when I was a kid, but I will tell you it's still pretty dadgum rewarding. I don't know if it's rewarding in February because it's behind us or along the way when you gather a banner or two. I'm not real sure what that is, but yeah, it's,
Yeah,
it's the time. Hey, let's
exactly.
not waste any time. Let's welcome some people to our show here, Corey. You
Yeah,
you got to meet them this last maybe a little over a year ago. You judged a show. There's Bob
yeah.
and Peggy and Lindy. Hello, how are you?
Good.
Good.
Good
Welcome
deal.
to
Glad
Cattle
to have
Drive.
you guys. Yeah. So how this deal kind of came to be, or my relationship with Bob, Brett, is yeah. I went to a show last February. Was that in February, Bob? Last spring, sometime, or last
End of January.
end of January. Okay, and and I was out there, and after the show, Bob come by there, and Kendall Bremer judged the other ring, and Bob takes Kendall Bremer and I out to eat. And I know you find this shocking, Brett, because you know him, that Bob and I was able to get a word edgewise in with Kendall, but we did. And and Bob tells the story of how this Autumn Rose website, and I was like, man, that deal. I mean, it's a really good story, and then they'll tell it. And then this summer, when my deal came to happen, I wanted to do something for the Shrug family, for kind of sticking beside me because I was gone a lot this summer, and so anyway, I commissioned Bob to paint a picture, and I think, do you got that picture, Brett? I commissioned Bob to paint this picture. Bankroll was one of the kind of the bigger bulls that 605 sires collected, and he's kind of been a staple. Hell, he's been there longer than I have. I mean, he's been at the stud there, and so he was kind of a bull that I thought would be cool for Bob to paint. I sent him that picture. He said this is going to work awesome, and the rest is history. So that's how my relationship with Bob started. So I guess now, if Peggy, if you'd kind of go in reverse and kind of tell us a little bit of how Autumn Rose and the gallery started, and some of that.
Well, our daughter Allison, which is Autumn's mom, was married to Lucas Regula. I don't even remember what year they got married, 2010. Anyway, he was diagnosed in 2016 with a brain tumor, and since then underwent chemo, radiation, some other treatments, and he passed away in August of 2019. Autumn then was diagnosed 6 months later in February of 2020 with it's a fairly rare, I think we're hearing more about it now because there's just been more research and it's come to light a little bit more, but it's called DIPG. It's diffuse intrinsic pontine glioma. It's extremely rare. She got diagnosed February of 2020. She was just shy of 5 years old. And she turned 5 in May. They see about 200 cases a year in all of North America, they told us. And we were very, very fortunate to be put into contact through Luke's oncologist, put us in contact with a pediatric neuro-oncologist. At that time was at University of Cincinnati and has since now moved to Columbus, which is wonderful because that's so much closer. Dr. Miriam Filati, and she spent most of her career devoted to research for this specific tumor. It's a very, she calls it a tricky, sneaky kind of a tumor. And they've done research, I think, for the last 40 to 50 years without being able to find anything that really attacks it and does any kind of significant change. It's deep into the brain stem, so it's very difficult. You cannot remove it. And they had told us prognosis was 6 to 12 months at the time, 12 months with radiation, 6 months with none. And she had radiation and she's had some various chemo trials, but she's amazingly very stable right now. And we've been 2.5 years now post-diagnosis. So we've been trying to just raise as much awareness and as much money as humanly possible. For example, like to start a clinical trial, it takes $2 to $4 million just to start one clinical trial. So it's just mind-boggling.
And there might be 10 to 12 kids in a trial worldwide.
They've established, Dr. Filati is the head of the whole global tumor registry for this specific tumor. And they work, like sometimes with adults, everybody's kind of on their own competing for cures. With children, it's a joint effort worldwide. Like there's researchers in Australia, England, Canada, United States, all over working for the same goal and sharing their research with each other. So that's what got us started on this gallery.
Right. So the gallery itself started just, I mean, Bob, we haven't really hit on it very much, but your ability and your talent as an artist, was this just a way for you to, I mean, express something?
Oh, it just was a way to try to help because you just feel so helpless.
Right.
Well, his art class had a little thing that winter about showing something new that you painted
we posted paintings on Facebook. This would have been two springs ago. And so I started posting. I kind of started painting about 15 years ago. I've always drew and painted when I was a little kid. And, you know, life gets in the way. You get busy with your kids and cattle and everything else. So I decided when my daughters grew up, I was going to start painting again. And So I did, and we posted 10 different days of paintings, and all my friends on Facebook just went kind of ape shit over them. And so got me thinking, maybe we could do something with this to raise awareness and raise some money. And so we started it, I think
huge amount of help
with Linde's huge amount of help, because Linde's been a big part of this. We started it in the spring of
almost summer of 21.
21. So it's really only been online for a year and a half about. And Peggy looked up last night. We've sent over $30,000 for the research just from the gallery alone. And kind of amazing. And with everybody else's help, we put a lot of things on the cattle battle fundraiser that we do that Linde can tell you about here in a second. We're approaching $100,000 of donations that people have either raised and it's a minute drop in the bucket, but it every little bit helps. And Dr. Filati is just so grateful. She actually had Autumn Regula family on the consortium. We got to be on a webinar with her, and I mean, they had us right on there with all the fundraisers, so it was a pretty cool deal.
And all the researchers.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, Linde, it's no secret in this business, especially in Corey and I's business, who you are and the value that you bring to this industry with your talents behind the camera. Tell us a little bit about why you became involved in this and why you are so passionate about it as well.
Well, Allison was actually my very first employee at Linde's Livestock Photos, if you would believe that. So that's been a few years ago, but that's all due to Bob. I did not live here in Clark County when I didn't grow up here. So Bob said one weekend when I was taking pictures, he said, "Hey, if you ever need help, call Allison, my daughter." He just told her and that she was going to help me. And I was like, okay. So I need some help. So I called Allison right away and we hit it off. Of course, we just became instant friends, and it was definitely not an employer-employee relationship. She was a very good friend from the get-go, and she was in college at the time, and so, I took her pictures when I think her last year of showing steers. That was kind of when I was first getting started taking pictures. So that just kind of, our friendship started quite a ways back there. And then, things have grown different, and her life kind of went in a different direction as far as she moved to Kansas and kind of, she didn't work as much anymore. Then she came back this direction and she started working with us again. So but we've remained friends through the years. So it's just a wonderful blessing that Bob and Peggy, they treat me like a daughter of their own, and they are wonderful. And I just can't say enough about their family. So, of course, when all of this happened, it was like it was happening to my own sister. And it's emotional to sit here and listen to the story. But I'm just happy to be a small part in it. And I'm just the technological side of the Autumn Rose Gallery. So a few of the girls, as we get some photos here and there that we take when we're out and about, which of course we focus more on show photography, but we tried to contribute a few photos that we think people would like to the gallery, and Bob's wonderful talents and his friends. So I think Bob would agree that, if there's anyone out there that is interested in donating their portraits, their talents, their paintings, pictures, anything, we would surely host them on the gallery. I would say Bob would be welcome to host in that. So I encourage any of those folks out there that have those kind of abilities and talents to contact us, and we'd love to work with you because, as they said, any money we can raise for Dr. Filati is wonderful, and it's not only helping Autumn, but it's helping all those other children out there with this horrible disease. So it's a great website. It's autumnrose.shootproof.com. And we have canvases, prints, note cards. What else, Peggy?
I think that's it. The prints, the
pretty much
canvases,
it.
the note cards.
Yeah.
And
So
one of our other daughters has taken beautiful floral pictures
yeah.
that we've got too that are just amazing.
Our older daughter works for Lilly now, and one of her friends just reached out to her after she saw the website. I take these flower photographs. Could I help in any way? And they are absolutely drop dead gorgeous, and they've been very popular. And
I mean,
it's just amazing all the people that have helped with the cause.
Yeah, you know, there's some of the neatest pictures you ever see, and I follow a lot of Linde. I follow all of y'all through social media, and what's unique today in today's time with social media and Snapchat and Instagram and things, you run across pictures today that you're like, that's pretty cool. I think I would buy that, you know. And we all take for granted that, like that picture right behind you of that hayfield. You know, anymore we Snapchat that, we see it, it's gone, you don't ever see it again. So having this gallery of unique pieces, you know, I go back to this bull, you know, that you did for 605. I mean, there's a video, Corey, and Corey showed me a video of when he presented this to the crew at 605. When they opened it up, it was just so lifelike to the guys that saw the bull see the bull every single day. There was no question who that bull was. I think just
that picture, that phone.
It did tickle me, but Melissa said it's bankroll right off the bat.
Right. Yeah.
It really tickled me that they knew it was him immediately. So
yeah. And that phone picture doesn't show it, but I mean, it's just like you could almost feel the curls on his head. You know, the way Bob had it painted. It's really neat. It's really neat.
Yeah, that's neat. Well, hey, thanks for sharing that, and thank you, the three of you, for that. You know, it's a shame. We've all been, I don't say dealt a hand, but we've all had to deal with something, and you know, sometimes it takes something like the loss of this, you know, to benefit something. And so I guess there is going to be some good come out of it, and the good part about it is it's something that a legacy can live on through many talents right here. So thank you all for doing that.
Thank you for having us,
guys. I've been impressed with it since the first day Bob told me about it, and I told you about this 3 months ago, I think, Brett, and we just got it tonight. So I've been looking forward to it. Just such a great cause, great people. Thanks for being on, guys.
Thanks so much. I want to add one little thing. I see the statistic, and it's mind-boggling to me, but only 4% of the American Cancer Institute's research goes to pediatric cancer research. 4%.
Yeah, pediatrics very underfunded.
Very underfunded. So we need to try to change that somehow.
Right.
You are headed in the right direction.
I'll just add too that that our little community here is sure pulled together and tried to raise a lot of awareness and a lot of funds, even though it's a drop in the bucket. But we're sure happy to be a part of it. And I know the Clark County cattle producers, we host the cattle battle show you all have referred to, and that'll be coming up here in January. And we'll have an online fundraiser there, and we'll have some of those lots designated for Dr. Filati, and then the rest of the money goes to the Ronald McDonald House. So we kind of started a little fun dress up show there 8 or 10 years ago, and to raise funds for charity. And these kids just love it and they have a good time at the show. And so it'll be on Walton. It's one of the best shows. But that Friday evening, I believe it's the 13th. I should have had that in front of me, January. But yeah, look that up. It's a fun time to watch, and it's a good time for folks to donate some money to either cause, which are both wonderful things to donate to. So I just thought I'd plug that in there too. That we're always looking for ways to to help out Autumn and keep keep those funds coming in for Dr. Filati.
What is the best program? About every year they raise how much for the Ronald McDonald House?
Around 25 to 30,000. So we're well over 100,000 by now. It's been 8 or 10 years since we started doing that, so it's kind of neat. It's a fun little program we do.
It's an amazing thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's without a doubt what you guys are doing to bring awareness to things and to raise money for it, and such giving. Bob, with your talent, Linde, with yours. I'm pretty excited to get off here and go do a little shopping myself. Here we are around the holiday time, so.
That's right.
Hey, thank you all for taking the time to visit with Corey and I tonight.
Thank you guys so much for helping us raise awareness. We appreciate it.
You bet. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Merry Christmas.
You guys too.
Wow, that's pretty neat stuff right there. So,
Yeah, it's pretty cool
when you told me about that painting, you just never know what to expect. You never know what, you were so passionate about that, talking about it. Then when you sent me that picture of that bull, it's unbelievable, the detail. And so,
yeah, even in person, it's even more detailed than what you'd think.
Wow, I'll be dang. Hey, it goes without saying, we always close these things down each time with Cattlemen's for Christ, and it's Corey. Things have, I guess, a way of working their way out. Do you know what tonight's verse is?
What is it?
Psalms 9:9. This is how weird this is. The Lord is a stronghold for the oppressed, a stronghold in times of trouble. Those that know your name put their trust in you, for you, O Lord, have not forsaken those who seek you. I'm just saying, I wish I was smart enough to go search something that would tie in to what we're talking about tonight the way that just did. So, you
couldn't have a better one.
Well, it's like I said, sometimes things have a way of working themselves out. So good people, good cause. Those of you that are like me, wait till the last minute to do your Christmas shopping. autumnrose.shootproof.com. If you can't find a picture that Linde has taken you like, and you can't find something that Bob has painted that you like, please call or text Corey or I. We can show you what average photography and stickman figures look like.
Hey,
you will end up back over there shopping. So,
hey, I was about to tell Bob that you could probably draw a stick figure and put it on there.
I'm telling you,
I don't think they would give him $5 for it, but
yeah, exactly. Yep, you bet. Hey, the other thing is this: those of you that have that talent, or you have a talent that you feel like this would benefit these guys, get a hold of them. I know that there's a lot of people out there with a lot of unique talents, and if you're in the giving spirit, and you've got that talent, reach out to Linde. I promise you, she'll find a spot for you on there. And I don't know of anybody that's ever turned anything down in terms of trying to raise money for research. So,
yeah, anyway, get a hold of Linde or call Brett and I, and we'll get you in touch with Bob and Linde or whoever we need to. You bet.
You betcha. Hey, man, you be careful the rest of the way down, and I'll see you in a day or two here in Oklahoma.
All right. Sounds good, bud. We'll see you in Stillwater.
Take care. Hey, tell Jackson to just pay attention. Is he old enough to drive yet?
Oh, yeah.
We
had to pull over. We were losing cell service. So
we had to pull over with cell service.
Yeah.
I got you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Hey, y'all take care.
All right. Take care, bud.